All right, everybody, welcome back. VeChain was a fun one, and speaking of Mr. Magic Internet Money, I got to hand it to this guy, man. He, from a distance, was looking for a sub 4 cent VeChain. I mean, he nails some of these altcoins on the lows from like months back, and exactly that on VeChain, right? Got down to like 3.9 cents. Right, what was that low? Came in at 3.99, so just below 4 cents. Was his target that he was looking for that. But regardless, right? So across the board yesterday, we had these inverse head and shoulders, and I bring these up because just to kind of align with the other areas that we're looking for as well, right? So we were looking, you had the range low right here, same deal, re-entered, found the range low support, off you go. Natural target of the point of control comes in at about 5 cents. After that, you got a golden pocket, then you got a monthly key level, and then essentially you got your range high all the way back up here at 7 cents. If you're looking at this inverse head and shoulders, then you got this measured move basically, right, of basically the golden pocket. So this would be a major target regardless, but it does align well with this inverse head and shoulders. So for anybody that is looking at that, this would be an area of interest if we get there. Almost about 6 cents, right, short term. It'd be a nice little rally for VeChain of about 30%. Hold that area or reclaim this golden pocket, and then we're looking for the monthly key level above that, and then basically the range high about 7.8 cents. All right, Luna was pretty much the epitome of a blow off top yesterday. Luna's just been on an absolute run. And I want to go over something too with these alts, right? So this looks a little crazy, but all right. So let's walk it back on Luna here, right? So let's take a look at how this ran through. Basically had your range low, your range high coming in here about $68. Sorry. You had your point of control right here, which lined up well with the monthly open. Now this is the previous monthly open. I got to change it for this month. So, what you want to pay attention for is these range lows. Right, so this is one of the best. This is a big support, right? So this is the best area to get involved if you're looking to accumulate, if you're looking to run a trade, whatever the case may be. Obviously, this can break lower, and you could set stop losses below the previous lows. But this was a really nice run, and this was during all the bad news, right? So you got to tune some of that out because this was a really, really nice move to the upside here. And obviously by the time anybody was really getting interested, it was already up 40-50%, whatever it was. But if you're paying attention to this, right, you got the range low right here, held it. Once again, if you're looking at this would have been a great entry. These would have been great entries. Once you reclaimed and held this monthly open and point of control as support, this is basically where we took off from. So from there, next target was your yearly key level, and then you got the range high. So at the range high, this does come in as your resistance, right? So you do want to look for a pullback at these range highs. You don't always get it, just the same as the range low is not always going to be a support, right? This will break at some point, and this was a good example of this, right? So at a range high scenario here, you could have entered a short, and let me just show you though what you would have wanted to pay attention for though. If you do that kind of, if you are looking to do anything like that, you want to put your stop loss right above that range high for this reason, right? Because this takes off on you. But at the exact same time frame, we had the range high come into play, and we had this bull flag. So with this bull flag, right, if you're looking at that with measured move wise, right, got the run basically straight up to that measured move. About $80. So from that bull flag, boom, 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 good to go. All right, and then from here, this is when Bitcoin basically took off yesterday. So from there, if you're pulling a fib of just this area right here, you're looking at what you want to see, and literally runs it all the way to the top of this 2.618, which is pretty crazy to think, because even in general. Not crazy to think. Obviously, this is crypto. This is what happens. But over the course of a few days here, right, just not even from the absolute low, you're talking about 100% gainer on a top altcoin. This is now number 7, I believe, in the top 10. So pretty interesting stuff. Would I buy here? Not necessarily, right? So this is something to consider. is that you did basically just kind of have a straight run up. Could it go higher? Absolutely, right? This is totally a scenario where if Bitcoin keeps running, everything's going to keep running too. And one thing I want to bring up is that Luna specifically, if we switch over here to the funding rates, you might not be able to see this very well on TikTok. It's changed up a little bit now, but yesterday still, even at like $44,000 Bitcoin, whatever, and I guess for the most part, you still have a lot of green here. So this is funding rates are positive, right? Meaning a lot of people are trying to short these assets. Luna was a big one until yesterday's run up to like $98. Luna was at 0.06, so that's like 6 times the from the baseline of people trying to short. So it's just the same thing as when we see, when Bitcoin is at 0.06 or 0.08, 6 to 8 times one way or the other, and then we tend to see, pretty much the opposite occur, right? Because then you get all those liquidations come into play. Luna was one of those, right, where everybody's trying to short, a couple others as well, but it does look like it's kind of cooled off now. AXS right now is looking like a lot of people are trying to short it. So I would still say Luna's up there. It's like 0.02 on FTX, 0.02 on Binance. So yeah, that's still something that's everybody's trying to short. So it could still kind of get that run up. But that's a crazy move. Especially just to run it all the way up to that 2618. So let's look at ETH. All right, so this support box right here, posted in the group the other day. Essentially, when I was looking at this as a possible double top. I don't think that's really what this ended up being, but at the time when this printed, I was looking for this support box to get taken out. It did come back up, oddly enough, just put in a lower high right here, and then we basically just ran it straight down to that support box. So this entry right here, which once again, we were anticipating that, if Bitcoin drops lower, if Bitcoin does this, right, then yeah, you got the lower targets at play, but don't disregard when you come into major support like this, because of reasons like this, right? So essentially what we did here, came right down to the support box, right, got the run up. We wanted to see this monthly open regained. We did just that, right? And then you got your next major target, that 2-year key level. You want to see that broken and held above. Well, boom, broke it, came back down, retest, and away we go. So our next major area now becomes this $3,100 window of, we got our yearly key level and our range high for ETH right here, right? And then basically, if we break through that level, let's just call it 3,200, then it's pretty clear skies up to back to 4K. Will it happen overnight? Well, if you would have asked anybody that about Bitcoin yesterday, they would have said no. But yeah, don't expect this overnight, of course. And you really would have to see this level broken, held as support, and then you take off. And then you got the yearly open at 3,700. Basically, you got a golden pocket up here, and then you got a volume target up here as well at $4,000. So, and like I said, post all these updates daily in the Leading Crypto Discord. So if you are interested in getting access to all my altcoin updates, I pretty much do at least 10 or 15 charts a day. I try to even take some requests, when possible, if it's something that, I think would benefit everybody, as long as it's not like some random, Santa coin or something. Magic does his Bitcoin analysis, which is just outstanding, to say the least. We've got our recordings here where we do member-only market updates, which this alone, if you don't even come in and check any of the charts, check any of our posts, if you just watch these 2 videos a week, Wednesday and Sunday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, you'd be 90% ahead of the curve every step of the way. So far, the last few weeks, these recordings have basically outlined the entire move from 52K down to 33, from 45 back down to the range low where we just were the other day. And then our Sunday live stream actually mapped out this move back to $47,000 and $48,000 range, right? So for anybody, if you're joining today, go ahead and check out those. They're all the last videos are in here. They are a little lengthy, but if you 2 hours a week, and you would have so much less stress, I feel. I've also got an academy that teaches you pretty much anything and everything about this market, 20 videos and counting, and all kinds of other things in this area as well. And then we got order flow, which I don't think anybody's really out there teaching this kind of stuff. So we've got an order flow and open interest specialist, Max, right here. He lives in Dubai, so overnight he's holding it down for us. And it's jam-packed with value here. Lots of educational content. You got a whole book selection for anybody that's looking to read up and learn on anything that we use, right? Any of our tools and resources. If you're looking to trade harmonics, if you're looking to learn about order flow and open interest, everything, volume profile, everything you need to know, all in here. All those are downloadable for everybody, and that's once again Leading Crypto. Link is in my bio if you're interested. So Filecoin just re-entered. It's developing range right here, held the low right here so far, and it's kind of just producing a bunch of little bull flags, it looks like, along the way. From here, what you like to see, honestly, is when your point of control is so far away. A lot of times, you'll have the point of control down here at the bottom, and not that really, means that you wouldn't go higher, of course, but it's just, this is a really nice target to have, especially from the low to the upside here. So I would say, if we continue this uptrend here, coming out, take out this recent high, you'd be looking for the middle of the range here, about $27. Then you got your point of control back at 28, and your range high up here at 33. With some key levels thrown on here. You got a monthly key level, and wow, yeah, you don't have too much in this little zone. So your next major level is actually up here about $50, but you'd have to kind of run through this previous range. Let's see what else we got. You got the yearly open. Yeah, so like I said, you don't have to change it necessarily, but you could just add the new one. But yeah, the monthly open is really where you want to be living above. So we are coming down. We're holding that as support, making a little bull flag here as well. From here, you got a 6-month level up at about $24, which is pretty much coming in at your monthly key level. And realistically, you got the major target of this area is going to be this point of control, about $28. And then you're looking up basically towards this yearly open. Now, if you come back down and you lose this range low again, $19, then you do have to anticipate lower, but more than likely, that's the whole market would be kind of moving downwards at that point too. Got a nice little double bottom like most altcoins at this point too. So yeah, that's pretty much Filecoin. You're pretty much at the range low. So this is not a terrible spot to pay attention here. And then, like I said, you got some pretty nice levels to the upside, and then there's a lot of all your key levels are above you. I'll clean this up. So this is a big one, right? Your yearly key level back at $100. Quarterlies, all over the place. So none of those are even really in your current range, though. So if you break that current range, then yeah, you got a lot of upside out of Filecoin. But if you're taking a step by step here, look towards that point of control about 28 and then 33. Your yearly opens at 34. And then you can look up towards that $49. For me, I'm looking at this 2-year key level as basically the range low of the previous year's range. And we, essentially when we re-enter that, it's just like any other range, right? You're at the range low, and then that range high is up at 63K. So essentially you'd be looking to cycle your range all the way up, and then, you got the point of control of that yearly range at like 58K. So over time, one thing to, think about here is that we're coming into the time of the year where it's usually pretty big, and not just in crypto, and it's usually just March, April, May are always pretty decent months across the board until you get to that like old sell in May and walk away deal. So you could be seeing 50K in a couple weeks, right? It's just all about taking it level by level for now, however, and just kind of knowing where these validations come in play. Because realistically, if we keep, you could get rejected as range high, and we could revisit the range low, right? That's one thing that really is a reality too, right? Is that we're still just range bound. So until you break through this range and start closing 4-hour candles daily, right? Because for example, the only time we've really busted through here so far in the last several weeks was right here, and you can see wick. And that's on a 4-hour, so we haven't even gotten a 4-hour candle close outside of that range. So that's pretty much the update here, everybody. Fairly simple, just as it's been, right? The same range that we've been watching, that we've been ranging through. It's still the same range holding us down, right? So you got, what do we got below us here? Quarterly key level, and then you've got the point of control, right? So yeah, it's just paying attention for the reaction right now. Could this be a trap? I don't think so in this regard, because I guess anything's possible. You still haven't put in that higher high, right? So that's the bigger thing to pay attention for. As far as a trap goes, that's a pretty big trap, right? To just get a a monster run up here. And even similar to over here, I mean, you're going to have some warning signs before we head back down. This one was a simple one to pay attention to, is that, we were looking for this to kind of break through. It did not. Got rejected at the range high, came back down, get rejected at the range high once again, and what you did here is you put in a lower high. So at this point, you kind of knew that we were probably going back down to the range low. And this time frame, I mean, took like, it was a few days before we actually headed, but this was 10 days before we actually went all the way back down. So you'll have some warning shots before things, really, if they head back down. But at this point, I think that it's a little bit more of everybody was panicking at the lows, and regardless of even if they sold out or not, they missed out on a really big opportunity. And now we tend to get these really quick runs. It's very similar to the October run from last year, right? If you were, I guess even similar to the summer run, this was pretty much a straight up move. You did get some kind of pullback here, but by the time you got that pullback, it was still like 30% above where the low was, right? And then in September, we had this pullback here. Everybody's looking for 37, came down to 39, so very close. But by the time it turned around, it moved so fast from 30 to 70K. It took a minute for everybody to realize what was going on, and then a lot of people, same deal. It's always is this a trap? It's a tough scenario, right? When you're kind of in the middle of that run up, but there was a lot of volume that came into this one, and I'm not talking about just the volume from here. Like if you go to the order flow and the open interest, there was quite the interest. But I hope you're all having a great day. Really looking to see really nothing huge changes as far as these next targets until we get this range high reclaimed here. So be aware of that. Also be aware of this kind of everybody trying to short right here, and then we just blast right through it, right? So that's a possibility as well. The only reason I say that is because I don't anticipate us to go straight to 60K or anything like that. But I do think it's really possible. Once again, nothing gets activated until we break this range high. But from even where we are right now, just to that 47, 40, 48 area, you're talking 7-8%. And how many people would be FOMOing in, thinking that we're just going straight back to 50, just things of that nature. So, and from there, I could see totally a pullback, even all the way back down to this 2-year key level, which would just jack everybody up. So, it's just the time to have a plan, strategize, don't rush into anything. And if you're already holding, obviously, then you're in good sight or in a good spot. And for anybody that's in the trading group, like I said, be sure to watch that last Sunday's exclusive members only market update, because it goes over pretty heavily, why we're looking up towards this 47K so much. But once again, that only gets activated once we break the range high. And this is the thing, right? When for now, the idea would be, all right, we're getting rejected. So yeah, look down to 43, look down to your $42,000 point of control, and then you've also got your 2-year key level. These 3 levels right here would be the 3 for me that I'd be looking for. And then essentially you pop through this 45K, well then we're looking up. So it's like just to have that's the game plan in motion right now, right? Breaking back below here obviously is a totally different game plan at that level, and then breaking above this 47,000, then it activates our next levels here. So stress-free living, right? As long as you kind of know what the levels you want to look for, and you don't have to be scrambling when price action does what it's doing, right? So I think that's all I got for everybody today. I may jump back on here later tonight if we get this range break and do an update there. Hope you all have a great day. Till next time, cheers.